Y'all, I figured out the trick. NowThatsTv is exploiting trans women in order to get their views. Okay, let's talk about it.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What is going on, entertainers? So today I wanted to do like a video of something that I've noticed with NowThatsTV that they do. Before I get started, I already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Okay, so I've noticed lately, right? And I started to peep earlier on, but I'm like, no. But a lot of their shows include trans people, and I feel like they're putting them on the show because they know that that's something that's trending right now, and that's something that's going to garner more views because they already know that the trans women, if they put them on the show with cisgender women, that it's going to cause some sort of conflict, and they might end up getting into it either verbally or physically. So one of the first shows that I noticed this on, of course, was season 1 of South Central Baddies. So one of the girls, trans girls that were casted on there is Persuasion. So first this season, I'm like, okay, they probably are trying to switch it up. Okay, give a light to trans women, which is a good thing, right? So they had Persuasion on there, and they also had this other trans woman on there named Yari. Y'all remember that fight when it was on that van and Persuasion was yaka 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 in the words of Kaya on Yari in that van. One thing I didn't like about this whole situation was I felt like the security at the time that they had then. I don't. Of course, it's not the same security now. I feel like that security, they purposely didn't try to break up that fight as much as they could because there were two trans women. I don't know if they were like they didn't want to be on that. You know how strangers, I don't want to be on that gate. I don't know if it was because of that or what, but it was just very weird because you could tell that other fights they were quick to break up, but this fight lasted long. Like Persuasion literally knocked the Mario coins out of Yari's head to the point where I don't think the next day she'll probably remember what happened, to be honest. So that's one of the first castings that I noticed that were kind of going down that route in order to, in my opinion, sort of exploit them to get more views. This scene though, I really liked. The girl with the curly hair is named Green Eyes, and she really in this scene gave Persuasion like her respect as a trans woman or whatever, and basically was like, "Oh, I don't have no issues with it," and basically saying like, "Hey, girl, I got your back. I see you for what you are, and it's all love." Okay, so I'd really like that scene of South Central Baddies season 1. Okay, so let's move on to season 2. So season 2, we got introduced to Kenzie and Barbie. Okay, let me not stop. Y'all know how I get about Barbie. We out that she out that daddy that. Let me stop. Okay, we got introduced to Kenzie and Barbie, and one of the first things that happened when it came to Barbie is that we had Mrs. I forget her name, and I interviewed the girl. She put hot Cheetos in Barbie's shoes. Okay, who put hot Cheetos in my shoes? So Barbie got really mad at that, and I felt like they specifically did that on purpose because they know, because at that time they weren't allowed to hit the cisgender women like Kenzie, Barbie. They weren't allowed to try to fight some of the cisgender women in the house, right? So I feel like Special Karen, one of the producers, told her to specifically do that to Barbie in order to kind of like rile her up. I think her name was Goddess. Yeah, her name was Goddess, I think. I'm pretty sure her name was Goddess. I'm going to correct it in the post edit if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think that was her name. And then we got introduced, of course, like I said, to Kenzie as well. One of the things that happened in South Central Valley season 2 was Kenzie was talking to one of the other cast members about how she went over, I guess, her house or something during filming. This wasn't caught on camera, which I hate some of these network shows. Now, I'm not just talking about Nice TV. I'm just talking about Zeus, those other networks as well that I'll be watching. They don't catch everything on camera. Even networks like Bravo, VH1, sometimes lately, they haven't been catching stuff on camera. We've had to get stories from the cast members telling us what happened during the confessionals. So we found out that Kenzie had went over one of the cast members' house, and she felt like they were laughing at her because there was like some hood dudes there in the house or something like that, and it was some situation where she left the room or something like that, and she felt like they were kind of like laughing at her. But when she confronted the cast member about it, the cast member was kind of like brushing her off and made it seem like it wasn't like a big deal or whatever, which they made sure to catch on camera. And another scene that I didn't appreciate that they did, that I felt like they was trying to exploit them, was they had them do this challenge called a tug of war challenge, where Kenzie had to face off with another cast member, and they had her pull. They did like a tug of war. You already know genetically Kenzie's already born, a boy, right? So to me, I feel like they did that challenge specifically just to kind of make Kenzie look like crazy. Not look crazy, but Kenzie look like the stronger girl, which y'all could have picked another challenge for that, to be honest. And the girl that lost, the cisgender girl that lost, was already, she was talking her stuff, was like, that's not even fair, that's a man, that's a man, that's a man. So that was another instance where I felt like y'all kind of, y'all asking for it at this point. Y'all asking for them to either be humiliated and exploited, okay? And also during the reunion of South Central Baddies season 2, we saw Barbie talk to ET about how I guess ET exposed that she was a T-girl to one of her homies, because one of her homies wanted some SoCal Barbie's Big Debbie cakes, okay? She wanted those Big Debbie cakes. One of those cakes whole time. In the words of Barbie, whole time. She wanted a big SoCal Barbie's Big Debbie cakes, and SoCal Barbie felt some type of way because she felt like, why did you have to tell him that? I guess she felt like she wanted to tell herself that she is a T girl, and she says that she be in the hood every day. She ain't got no issues, being a T girl. She never gets touched in the hood in the South Central. Okay, being a T girl. Okay, so that was another instance where trans issues did come up. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I feel like, why don't they have it to where they have their own show where they have T girls being an ensemble cast, and they don't just have T girls mixed up with cisgender girls? Like, they could just have their own show, standalone show. Sydney Starr is going, which we're going to talk about in this video, is going to have her own show with T-Girls called Plenty of Fish. But that network, I don't know what's going on with it. I've been hearing some stuff about it. I don't know if the show's still going to be happening. But NowThatsTv should kind of pack them to the punch. Just they're fast with their production and getting shows up and running, okay? And then we get to season 3, where we get Joyce, my body, and then Sky. Okay, I worked you. We get these two. So automatically, when I saw that these two were casted, I was like, here we go. We're going to have the 2 trans girls versus the other 2 trans girls. And this is exactly what happened. It already started during the auditions, where we saw Barbie attack Joyce for literally no reason. Joyce was minding her fluorescent skin business, signing. Joyce looked so pale at that audition. I will say that. Signing that the audition papers and the contract, and next thing you know, Barbie, boom, hit her. Okay, so it started from there. We watched season 3. Check out my season 3 video of what I thought about the whole thing. But you could just kind of tell that those 2 getting casted was to kind of go against Kenzie and Barbie. Plus, we saw a lot of T-girl issues being brought up during the whole season, when it came to Liddy, when it came to Nina, when it came to Butter. A lot of people felt like Joyce and Sky shouldn't have been casted. They felt like they shouldn't have put their hands on the cisgender girls during the whole entire season. Okay, a lot of people I was seeing online felt like Kenzie and Barbie went through a lot the second season and never put their hands on the cisgender girls, while Sky and Joyce, they was getting active in the house and had no issues doing that. Okay, I will say both sides, in my opinion, were guilty. I felt like Liddy and Nina would do certain things to Joyce and Sky, but Joyce and Sky too, they would do and say certain things to them too that would start it from the beginning of the season to the end. Y'all gotta watch the whole season. I feel like both were to blame, in my opinion. And I feel like the biggest person to blame out of all of this was Butter, because Butter, to me, played victim when she did a lot of weird stuff. To me, she's like a weirdo. Butter, to me, is like the weirdest person on the cast. It's not even anybody else. It's Butter. Like, something about her is just off to me. But that's what I think about season 3. So let's get to Coming Up LA. So Coming Up LA, you guys, was hosted by Lucky Hustler, okay? And somebody that was on there was Quality Cologne, right? So Quality Cologne, I don't think, identifies as trans. Correct me if I'm wrong if she does, but typically I've heard people refer to Quality Cologne as he. So, and he doesn't correct that whatsoever. So I guess she's like gender nonconformist type stuff. So Quality Cologne got jumped on his season, and also when it came to Deja Vu, got into some other stuff too. I don't like Quality Cologne because I feel like Quality Cologne, starts a lot of stuff and then tries to act like it's everybody else's fault or like somebody's like doing something to him. Quality Cologne to me is a ish starter, and I think is a colorist. So I didn't even want to include him on this video, but I just had to because of the whole trans exploitation thing. Like I said, I do not know if he identifies as trans. Okay. Next show we're gonna get into is Deja Vu. So Deja Vu, we saw Sydney Starr and Kenzie return. The moment I seen Kenzie and Sydney Starr going to be on the same cast, I already kind of knew that it was going to be Sydney Starr versus Kenzie. Okay, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. We saw them get into it during the whole season, and this is what I mean by the whole expectation thing. They made sure to cast Sydney Starr because they know Sydney Starr, she is the trans clown. All right, she'll do anything to end up on the next reality show just to get them views, okay, just to get a check. Kizzy is smart though because she knows how to, make good TV, and she is entertaining. I will give Sydney that. But when it comes to representing the trans community, I don't think she does the best at that because she makes trans people, in my opinion, look like crazy and foolish and thirsty. And the trans girl I'm friends with, they're not like that at all. So I feel like she's like a misrepresentation of them. So they knew what they were doing by putting her on that show. All right. So we seen her, get jumped and accused of slicing someone, which I still do not think that Sydney did that to Kenzie because Sydney's not that type. She's not even a fighter. What you think Sydney gonna be doing? Hiding a razor blade under her tongue, okay, under her wig. She's not gonna do that. Okay. Sydney can't even fight. I don't think so, but we'll see. And we also saw some further issues when BD Gucci, Big D Gucci was accused of getting slobbed on his knob, Hamdulillah, by Kenzie, Miss BITCH. Is that Miss BITCH? That's Miss BITCH. She was accused. He was accused of getting that slop on and knob by Miss Kenzie. Kenzie kind of confirmed it at the reunion, but Mr. Gucci was not at the reunion to confirm or deny that action. I do believe it happened just due to, Gucci's Twitter action. Now I kind of believe it. Before I discovered his Twitter, I was like, oh, no way. Now I believe it. Okay. It's another form of exploitation that they did. I feel like they kind of made sure to put that, in there as a storyline because it did garner a lot of attention, a lot of views because the people wanted to know that, did Kenzie have a piece of that designer? Okay. Next show I wanted to talk about, you guys, is Zodiac House. So Zodiac House, you guys, has a trans girl on there by the name of Kardash. So Kardash, you guys, is a Pisces, and she's on the season 2 of Zodiac House, aka the real season 1. I'm Bougie Nina. Okay. Anyways, she got into it with another cast member by the name of Tyra. Tyra, I don't think identifies as trans, but Tyra's like a femme queen. They got into it, and it became this whole thing because Kardash felt like she was being exploited on the show because they let a man hit her. That's what she said on the show. She has gotten really, really mad on social media at Bougie Nina because of the confessionals that Bougie Nina made on the show. She felt like Bougie Nina was kind of like poking fun at her and kind of laughing at her. So I will say though that Kardash, after watching the show, I'm telling you, Kardash was, popping slick at the mouth. So I don't know why she was so shocked that, Tyra hit her, because she was low-key asking for it, in my opinion. But that whole her crying and bringing up DV, and I hate when people do this. She brought up the whole DV thing, and she was saying she's here for trans DV lives because she's been through that whole situation. But I feel like those two situations did not correlate. You guys are on a reality TV show where it just garners like on drama. So her bringing up that situation to me was kind of dumb. But hey, honorable mention would have to be Baddies of Las Vegas. I never watched that show, but there was somebody on there named Ken. Like I said, I don't think Ken identifies as trans. They may or may not. Like I said, I never watched that show, so I just wanted to give an honorable mention. The whole point of the video is just, I don't know why this network just doesn't do their own trans collective shows. It would stop a lot of some of the issues that have been happening, especially with South Central Baddies, with the reunion not happening and all this back and forth type stuff. It would prevent half of that stuff from happening. Of course, it would take away from some of the drama, but if they were to able to get, you know, some dramatic cis girls and put them on South Central Baddies and put all of these T girls that I mentioned on their own standalone show, they would have two successful shows, in my opinion. Okay, I still think they should integrate trans women on some of these shows, or do you guys think that they should just have their standalone shows? All right, entertainers, leave your comments down below. We are out, babies.
Ain't no personal thing.